Well, I think this has been a growing concern, as we say, and being a young mother, you know, our children walk on the roads, they go to bus stops, you know, to catch the school bus. And I think even as a mom, you always have that fear, you know, that, you know, your child and maybe a mother or a father or a caretaker might be dropping them. But what if somebody is, you know, driving or they're coming back from school and being irresponsible? So I think it's very important that, of course, that don't drink and drive, but also, like you say, you have to drive safely and responsibly even during the day. Cannot afford to drink and drive because they are going to be pulled up. And there are a lot of check nakas nowadays. And I think people, the growing concern is out there and people have become really old.
And there is no escaping this reality. There are three things that need to be done. Number one, we need education which is finite and with a purpose. We need demonstrable punishment for people who violate the laws. See, in this country, you can get away with blue murder. You know, you'll hit someone, the laws are so weak, person will get bail. I mean, there was this lady who ran over someone and, you know, driving the other side. We don't have demonstrable punishment. The third, which is very important, which I hope the doctor here will touch upon, is we have zero trauma apparatus around our centers, around our roads, around our cities.
Yeah, first of all, I think we have been as an organization at it for the past decade now. And in just the last 2-3 years, just to see the amount of dialogue and conversation around road safety is really heartening for us as an organization. I want to congratulate Ndtv and Diageo for taking this initiative, not just for a year now. I'm seeing this, it's every year, so it's great. I think people who die in road accident victims, 50% of them actually die of treatable injuries. So they can be saved. Typically they die because of excessive bleeding. The Good Samaritan law concept basically looks at bystander care. The person who is next to the accident victim or somebody who is passing by should be empowered, not to be scared to call for emergency services. People typically die bleeding on the road.
As Sohailji very rightly mentioned, it's the pre-hospital period and the pre-hospital transfer. So one is you have to stop if someone has met with an accident and go for its assistance. Yes, you may be questioned, you may be detained in the casualty for some time. That's a part of life. Eventually you're going to save somebody's life, and that anonymous person could be your next kith and kin. It has happened at times.
Place and somebody who has championed road safety. You know, we've lost some of our greatest leaders also, not as if it's a token to leadership, but you take Gopinath Munde's case. I mean, it was most tragic how he just lost his life. And I think that has also been something that has been discussed internally in the party on multiple occasions. Not that I'm suggesting a life of a politician is more than the life of any other citizen.
Well, I think a celebrity can always bring out the awareness. And I think like Virat is also part of this campaign. I was there in 2014 in Bangalore. So I think we can, you know, influence the people, the youth, everyone out there. So I think it can make a change, and we do try in our own way to do that.
Of it. But yes, there are lots of governments that are thinking about it. I know that our Environment Minister, Mr. Anil Dave, is coordinating with Mr. Nitin Gadkari, because in this motor vehicle bill that is going to be tabled in Parliament, they want aspects of pollution also to be contained. So in that sense, limited numbers of cars. But this is not something that we can force down anyone's throat. It's something that has to be where people, again, like Karishma, people who are from civil society that lead by example.
One last question from somebody on this side. Yes, go ahead.
Excuse
in the
me.
Center.
I have to ask now.
So no, can I decide who's asking? Yes, go ahead.
I can only assure you that when it comes to railways also, there's no saying that, you know, we are going to be completely accident free, but we are taking a lot of measures, and Suresh Prabhu himself has highlighted all the 12 points that the government plans to do when it comes to railway safety as well. And I do concede it is an area of contention, because if you lose one life or 100 lives, it's a life of an Indian that is lost.
मैं पहले भी आ चुकी थी in the first year in 2014. I think road safety is very important. हमारे छोटे बच्चे हैं, हमारे family members हैं, and I think people should be more responsible जब वो vehicle चला रहे हैं. They should not drink and drive. और अगर आपने आपने पिया भी है, but then you have to have a designated driver. आप नहीं सोच सकते कि नहीं मैं तो गाड़ी चलाने वाला हूँ, तो ये नहीं हो सकता. And I think it's a good way to create awareness that we're all there to tell people to be responsible and keep our roads safe, keep our families safe. हाँ जी, good Samaritan law. I think सबको पता होना चाहिए that there is a good Samaritan law out there कि अगर आपने किसी को देखा है जो ट्रॉमा में है, ट्रबल में है, आप प्लीज़ ऐसा मत सोचिए कि बेटर हम इन्वॉल्व नहीं हुए. अगर आप इन्वॉल्व होते भी हो, you will not be questioned, you will be a good Samaritan saving someone's life.